Whenever you're ready. Yeah.
The United States of America, land of the free, home of the brave, is a country with a remarkable history, diversity, and culture. A country thousands of people come to make a new life. A country... Is it a country? The answer is obviously yes, but if you think about it, the United States functions very weirdly compared to other countries. Its territories make its geography unclear. The way federal law and state law contradict each other is complicated, and each state and reservation function almost like their own country. Yet, people in territories can't vote. This makes you question the actual definition of a country and what the Constitution does to stay true to or deter from that definition. And that definition is, well, unclear. There's no universal term for a country, but looking at other countries, the United States should at least have sovereignty over a geographical area, a permanent population, defined territory, one government, and can enter relations with other countries. The United States has a permanent population, defined territory, and can enter relations with other countries. But what I'm more interested in is sovereignty, and mainly our government laws. When you sit and really think about the name United States of America, you begin to realize how little it technically makes sense, as 6% of our population does not live in America. America is defined by the continents North America and South America. The United States has what is actually called territories in the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. These small islands are governed by 50 states and have American rights, yet they don't have the right to vote for president. While many of these islands are uninhabited, the Marina Islands, Guam, U.S. Samoa, the Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico have a permanent population. Puerto Rico is an interesting case because it has a higher population than 21 U.S. states, including North Dakota. The Constitution and federal law, of course, apply to these areas, and if you're born in any of these islands, including the uninhabited territories, you automatically gain United States citizenship. Yet, they're not states, they're territories. The main difference is they can't vote for they can't vote for their own laws, but what does that say about sovereignty? Sovereignty is essentially a state's right to make their own laws. And something the Constitution puts emphasis on. What exactly stops these areas from having their own state? What exactly stops these areas from having a say in their own laws? Why don't we make Puerto Rico our 51st state? And it has the population for it. They can join the United States military like any other territory, and it clearly doesn't have to do with size because there are states way smaller. Because the reason lies in money. It's always money. Puerto Rico economy has been going down since around 2000 when Congress phased out tax incentives designed to attract investment to the island. Hurricanes haven't exactly helped either. They create mass destruction that even mainland United States struggles to fix. Many Puerto Ricans have wanted statehood for a long time, but Congress has yet to really do anything about it. But who knows, maybe one day we'll find that 51st star on our flag. But all of that is just nitpicking compared to our laws, which are confusing to say the least. Each state will send representatives to decide our federal laws for the country. The number of representatives a state has is dependent on their population. For example, Delaware has 1 representative, while California has 53. This is fairly simple. And then you throw state law into the mix. Federal laws are laws that are decided for the entire country. State representatives decide and vote for these laws. State law, however, is decided by each state and is followed exclusively by that state. This creates the issue of which laws do you follow? What's the point of state law if you have federal law? The 6th article of the Constitution says that if 2 laws contradict each other, you can follow state law, but the government can come in with federal enforcement and arrest you. The most famous case of state and federal laws contradicting each other is the legalization of marijuana in 10 different states. Federally, the drug is very illegal for recreational use, but in the states of Washington, Oregon, California, Colorado, Maine, Alaska, Nevada, Michigan, and Massachusetts, marijuana is legal for recreational use. Theoretically, the United States government could come into these states and arrest all the people participating in the recreational use of cannabis. But they don't because it simply is not worth their time. Now, when asked where you are from, what do you say? Besides your city, you probably don't answer with the United States. Most people just answer with their state. This means that people identify more with their state than their country. This makes sense since states essentially act like mini countries because they're allowed state law. Multiple states have even tried leaving and becoming independent. Of course, after the Civil War, the Constitution was amended so that that could never happen again. Despite this, Washington, Alaska, California, Vermont, the former Confederate states, and Texas have all taken votes on leaving. Texas being the most famous, but Alaska has the highest support rate at 6%. It has been theorized what could happen if a state ever left the country. Texas, for example, is an interesting case because it used to be a country, the Republic of Texas, for about 10 years until it joined the Union. In 1846, it became the 28th state. Immediately after was the Mexican-American War over the question of how big Texas should be. America, as the victor, got to decide its size. While Texas gave up their independent rights, their citizens did not, which led to some conflict that was forced to withdraw. If Texas ever left, they would have an economy similar to Australia and would theoretically thrive. However, this simply cannot happen. Unfortunately for many states, not just Texas, no state can legally leave the United States. Another interesting case is reservations. When you look